Hello everyone! I think this is our last class combination video for the Grim Dawn Basics series. It's the Blademaster, because if we go, I know we did the Warder, we did the Elementalist, Conjurer, Trickster, Druid, Battle Mage, Saboteur, Warlock, Spellbreaker, Witch Hunter, Saboteur, or I said Sorcerer, I meant Sorcerer, not Saboteur there, Pyromancer, Witchblade, and Commando. So yep, Blademaster's last. And the Blademaster is interesting. You would think combining the Nightblade and Soldier would give you something about akin to a Spellbreaker in terms of like defense, but I would actually rate this a little lower. It's not bad though. It's let's just start with the defense options. And first and foremost, you go with like Pneumatic Burst with Shadow Dance, obviously, because that'll get you the constant healing and health regen and the avoidance. And then Veil of Shadow will slow things down, make them hit you less hard. And Phantasmal Armor is that little bit of armor. And then on the soldier side of things, you got like Maynard's Will and Overguard when you got a shield, and Fighting Spirit and Military Conditioning, Shield Training, Veterancy, the Field Command abilities, Decorated Soldier, Scars of Battle, Maynard's Bulwark, etc., etc. So yeah, you've got your core defenses. That also include Warcry in that. So firstly, it's like it's got a lot of defense, and it's a pretty good set of defensive abilities. You can avoid a lot of things, and you'll have a lot of health if anything hits you. For synergies, I think bleeding damage is where it's at. Physical, pierce, bleeding. You can do a lot with those. Like the Blademaster is like your probably most basic thing you could think of in the game for how am I gonna build for this? Well, you take like, am I gonna sword and board or dual wield or two-hander? Then you pick the ability related to that. Then you build your defenses around that ability as well. So it's like so for sword and board, you could easily go Blade Arc, because there's a lot of bleed damage, and Anatomy of Murder is like the bleed damage mastery almost in this game. And you could also work in like Circle of Slaughter, Devouring Blades, and obviously Blade Arc with Laceration. That's a lot of bleed damage, and I can attest to this guy being a pretty strong character. He just gets a little on the boring side because you're pretty much just going to sit there and Blade Arc. That's all you're ever going to do. Maybe throw out Blade Spirits, maybe do a Circle of Slaughter, but you're mostly just sitting there swinging away. Maybe throw Warcry on top of it, but you're mostly swinging away. Gets a little on the boring side. Same thing if you're going with Force Wave and doing like a two-hander build, or even sword and board build. But two-hander build, you can start spamming Tremor. And I would actually say it's a little on, again, that sort of like you're just going to be spamming Tremor and using whatever Blademaster stuff for defense. That's the Force Wave build is probably a little on the not as optimal build list for a Blademaster. A Cadence build, I could see dual wielding Cadence to have it proc a lot with the Nightblade procs as well. So that could be another like basic attack build. Again, a little on that like boring side where you're just sitting there swinging your weapons. Oh yeah, also if you're dual wielding, you can get Markavi's advantage and Zolhan's technique proccing as well. So you could do a Phantasmal Blades Blademaster, but again, you're just gonna sit there swinging away. Or maybe even not, because using it in its full-on Pierce mode could be pretty good here. Amarasta's Blade Burst, I think you could maybe make it work. This would probably be better for like a Spellbreaker though. Yeah, Ring of Steel, like I mentioned before, would work great in a bleeding build. And then same thing with like Blade Spirit and Blade Trap. Otherwise, I don't think there's much else to talk about here. The only thing is you kind of get into a bit of like I don't want to call it boring, because that almost sounds like an insult, but it is a little on the, you're like just swinging with one thing over and over and over again. And that's the class, that's the build you make. I wouldn't say it's boring, because a lot of people like that. But it is a little on the, like, just swinging your weapon is the thing. You won't end up with a lot of well, you kind of have a couple other ancillary abilities to use, but for the most part, you're gonna be swinging your weapon a lot. Yeah, and I think that just about sums up my feelings on the Blademaster, is you swing your weapon a lot. I will also note that there is kind of a weird build that I've seen, like in early access I saw it, and I don't know if it exists still, where you just use Blitz and Shadow Strike, and those are your 2 attacks. It's like the weirdest thing you could think of, but it's like a Blitz Strike build, where you're basically just pouncing on one enemy over and over and over again, with blitzing and shadow striking it. It's kind of a weird one. It's an interesting one, but it's kind of a weird one. So I don't think I need to cover much else here. You could use one of the exclusive skills if you're doing anything there. I mean, dual wielding, I'd probably lean towards Cadence or Blade Arc even. Sword and board, I'd probably lean Blade Arc over Cadence. Phantasmal Blades would work good with pretty much any of the combinations, as would Ring of Steel. I mean, I don't know if I'd Amalrasta's Blade Burst anywhere in here, because it's more of a cold damage thing, more of an elemental damage thing. Yeah. Yeah, having Field Command was great with Blademaster. I mean, it's always great to have Field Command. I know I've missed mentioning Blade Barrier whenever I mention the Nightblade, but it's a great one-pointer. As your emergency button, just hit that and you go in your panic room. Yeah, good defenses, a little on the boring side with his attacks. It's the Blademaster. It's potent, it's got potential, little on the, like, it's a B+. It's like the Commando and the Witchblade and the Battle Mage and the Warder. It's B+. It's good without being like supporting every single minutia obscure build in the combination. So yeah, that covers, I think, everything in like every one of our class combinations. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope everyone enjoyed all of these videos. The next Grim Dawn Basics video is something I don't know what it's gonna be exactly. I'm leaning towards doing 1-point wonders, but we will see what gets recorded. Like what I have a list in this giant stack of papers. That's all my recordings I've been doing, timestamps, and what I want to do for records. And I have a lot of things listed for Grim Dawn Basics. So the series is not going away anytime soon. I just need to get to figuring out how to record the various things and then recording them. And it's gonna be a surprise what comes next time for Grim Dawn Basics. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys then.